Hey, welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to honor a request today and do All of Me, great jazz standard, in the key of C. First with just basic chords and the melody, then I'm going to invert the chords a little bit, then I'm going to use some rootless voicings, then I'm going to do some real basic improvisation I think that anybody can do. You just take the melody and kind of play around with it a little bit. Now I'll invert some of the chords. So I'm going to start improvising now a little bit. And what you do, take the notes that are already there, and add, you can double some of the notes. You can, bounce around on them. All right, that gives you some rhythmic improvisation, and that's a good place to start. So I'm adding some passing tones instead of just, I can go like this, or this. Try something like that. And a little bit of blues scale is good too. So I put some passing tones in there, some rhythmic ideas, but I never really got too far away from the melody. And if you listen to great players like Bill Evans or Chick Corea or Keith Jarrett, they stick to the melody more than you might suspect. Sometimes Bill Evans really never even gets away from the melody. He just keeps embellishing it and coming up with nicer chords and reharmonizations and things like that. Some rootless voicings. I've done a lot of videos on rootless voicings, and I think you're probably getting a little sick of them. But let me just expand upon it just a little bit. Most of these rootless voicings are 4-note voicings, but they can be stripped down to 3 notes or 2 notes even. So let's take the C6-9 here. All right, C6-9, and we'll just get rid of that 5th there, and now we have a 3-6-9, and that's going to work fine. Now there's a box 1 voicing, and if you don't understand what I mean by box 1, I've done a lot of videos about this. So it's just basically, box 1 is this, box 2 is its inversion, this, Box 3 is very similar to box 1. It's like that. And then box 4 is like this. All right. And these chords can function as several different chords. So, and they're usually like dominant chords, but not always. So anyway, that's a little bit about box voicings. Check out my other videos for that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be using a lot. So I'll play the 4-note voicing first, and then leave out a note. All right. Now there's just a regular closed voicing. Now here, the box voicing is too close to the melody, and the one down lower, box 2, is too low, so I'm not going to use one there. I'll just use the 3rd and the 7th. There's a rootless voicing where the root was changed to the 9th. And here's a great box 2 voicing. All right. And I could leave out one note, just like that. Because I have that note up here anyway, so. And there's a box 3 voicing. Could just do it as a diminished chord too. Works nicely that way. That's a box 2 voicing with a note missing. Just 2 notes of the rootless voicing. Now there's 2 ways to handle this next part. I've done it both ways so far. You can go F6th to F minor 6th. And when you go like that to a minor 6, sometimes the bass player will go down to B flat. And that's kind of, this is kind of some, what they call negative harmony, right? Because you're going, all right, well, look at that chord, right? That's the negative harmony of a G7th. So it will go back to C pretty easily there. See, it goes right back to C. But I'm going to go to E minor instead because that's a substitution for the 1 chord. So, okay, and then the other way to do it is go up to a diminished chord here, and that'll take you into the C chord. And there's some cool things you can do with that. Right? You see this? This note right here is a whole tone extension of one of the notes of the diminished chord. You got C in there, so the melody is what you call a whole tone extension. And you can do that with any note. So I put a whole tone extension of A, also B there. So, and I got a great dissonance. There's box 3, which can be moved around like this. It's a lot of fun to do that. Let's look again at that diminished voicing that had the whole tone extensions. Well, how many whole tone extensions can you put on? Actually, you could put all 4 of them on, so I'm going to add another one, and they'll form a diminished chord themselves, right? Because if you have a diminished chord and you go a whole step above every note, you got another diminished chord, so. So obviously, the more you add, the more dissonance you get. And let's go ahead and do all 4 of them. So. All right, so if you're working like a hotel gig or something, I wouldn't go that far. Are there any hotel gigs left anymore? I don't know. Maybe a few. You could add maybe those 2 are nice, or like that. They're all good. And an improvisation idea here is if you're on a diminished chord, do the whole tone extension for your improv. Those are all in the diminished scale too. You got this diminished chord, and if you add this diminished chord to it, which are the whole tone extensions, the combination of those 2 chords gives you the diminished scale, right? This and this combined to make that. somebody the other day, I don't think I'm explaining it too great today, but somebody the other day said I'm probably the best one at explaining this, and I'll do a little. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump or anything, but I think I do explain this stuff better than anybody else out there, at least so far. And when somebody else comes along and does YouTube videos that explain it better than me, then I'll take my videos down and give the stage to that person. So I do thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. And you'll probably notice that, I'm not selling a book, and I'm not selling a website, and I'm not selling anything really. I'm just relying on YouTube advertisers. And, I have nothing against advertisements. I mean, that's how you learn about new products and things coming out, and musicians are always interested in new things. So, check out some of the advertisers. I do. All right, so let me get down now on this song, and I'll see you on the next video.